Hello, welcome to Also Driven. I'm Jim and he's Sean, and as per usual, I'm doing nothing while he's doing all the work. Right, so what are we doing today?
Well, today we discovered that the handbrake on our Fiat 500 only actuates on one side of the car and not both. I've had a look and I think that what's happened is one of the cables is stretched, so the one that's stretched kind of comes on, but the one that's not stretched doesn't kind of pull enough to actually action on the thing. So anyway, long story short, we are replacing both handbrake cables, and
Why are we making a video of it?
we are making a video of it because I can't find a good video on how to change the handbrake cables. There's about two that's about 15 minutes long, and it's mainly people sort of sighing lots and swearing.
In the dark.
In the dark, with the cameras that are pointed up at the sky. So I thought, let's just show you how it's properly done.
So that 10mm bolt back there is actually in the cup holder. So you just need to take the little cover out of the cup holder. You sort of see them in the front there, there's little rubber cup holders in there. Also, you can see my funky thing that I did to try and rejuvenate the handbrake with crap from Temu. What are you going to tell me?
So the first step inside the car, the reason we take that off is that you need to slacken this kind of adjuster here. So I've done it already. So you slacken it backwards, it's 10mm, until there's all the tension on these two cables are released, and you can just pop them off like that. So this one is the one.
Yeah.
So this one is the one I want to get out of the car now. So you can see there's like this, it's kind of this little collar there. You just need to grab your pliers, push down the little tabs, and pop it through. There it is, done inside the car for now. So outside the car, obviously I've jacked the car up in the middle on the axle and both wheels are off. I'm replacing both sides because it's what we needed to do. I've done one side already in order to know exactly what to do so we can do this video. So I'm going to do the second side on video. So I've now released it up from one end. We just need to release it on the drum end next. Okay, so first step is you need to undo these little things. They are a 12mm thing. They just hold the drum in place. There's two on one side and one on the other side on our car, so I have no idea what's meant to be there. But anyway, two, there you go.
Yeah, the one's
the voice
missing
of
on
reason.
the other side. I've seen all the other videos had two.
And then we can take this drum off, although it's a bit wedged in, so I might need to get a screwdriver and... Okay, that is the drum off. I've had this drum off the other day, so I've cleaned all this with brake cleaner already, but if you haven't, I would clean it with a lot of brake cleaner. We do need to get a new seal for that. We'll do it at some point, but it's not leaking or anything because that's just the outside cover, so it's not a problem. Anyway, once we're in here, we need to do a couple of things. So the handbrake is down the bottom there, so what we need to do is release these two clips to get the shoes loose, and then we undo that spring that's at the bottom, and then we can get out the handbrake mechanism on this side. So we start off, I think, with these clips. We use whatever this thing is called, pliers, and we sort of push it in and we shove it up a bit, and eventually it sort of comes off. There we go, done. One done. Okay, well, the second thing to do is, I've taken both of them off, is this spring thing. I use a cable tie as a little hook. So if I feed the cable tie up at the end of the spring and close it like so, then I have something to pull on, yeah, to do that with. Easy. Okay, so we need to release the handbrake from the this shoe. So if I pull this shoe backwards a bit, you can now see that little thing there, the nubbin, is the end of the handbrake. So it kind of needs to go upwards. So you sort of pull it out a little bit and push it upwards to release it out of the way, which is easier said than done when you're on film, but oh, there we go. Come on, up you pop, up you pop. There we go, it's out from there. And then the next job is to go underneath the car and release it from the three mounting points which hold it to the body. I'm not going to film myself doing that because, like, it's kind of obvious how they come off. They're a bit rusty sometimes. I might need a little bit of help with a screwdriver or a bit of Bulldog BDX to just give them a helping hand. So this is one of them, for example. So we need to kind of unhook it like that, and off it goes.
So you would say start undoing it from this end because that makes it easier to undo the ones under the car?
Yeah, I think so. And then you need to unhook it from the back of the drum. And I think all you do really is pull it, says he. That's certainly all I did the other side, but it might be easier when I get everything, all the others out, and then I can pull.
You getting down and dirty under there?
Very. It's really delicious.
I am so lucky to have him because we actually counted up how many cars are in the barn at the minute. So between me, him, and our friend Oliver, who has space in the barn, 25?
Something like that.
Yeah, we have 25 cars between 3 people. So after saying that, like, you know, all the other videos involve, like, you know, men in the dark grunting and groaning like you're watching some sort of gay porn, what have you been doing for the last couple of minutes?
Well, I just can't quite get this out the back of the drum.
I definitely heard sex noises.
Okay, I think I've got it. It just needed a bit of coaxing and a bit of Bulldog BDX. It should come out. So he says. Cue on now. Be a good little handbrake cable. Okay, maybe not. Bugger.
So our smugness.
Hey.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah,
That's
Got it.
quite a big bump.
yeah, it's all good. So I think what you need to do is there's like a, inside the drum, there's like a little metal cage that fits onto that like that. And it just grips onto that little groove. And it just, as well as pulling, you need to just gently kind of give it a little bit of a, there's a gap in the cage, and you can just get a screwdriver in and just wiggle it a little bit, which releases the grip on this, and pull it out. But it also needed a bit of Bulldog BDX because it was quite rusted in. So that's out. Let's put the new one in.
On a weird note, there is a thing, my dad's generation would went, oh, it's only one of the handbrake cables is gone, just replace one handbrake cable. So obviously this is the truly knackered one, so the cable has stretched. And the other side was working perfectly well, but only when we took it off, we realized it had already gone as well. So definitely worth doing both cables. Well, for me it was. He's not that keen, as he has to do all the work. How's one getting on in there?
Oh yeah, fine. Just feeding the cable through into the cabin.
And lo and behold, the cable has arrived in the cabin. And how's it going?
Okay, that is the new cable now clicked into place onto the brake shoe. So it's just a question of reassembling the clips and stuff on the brake shoe, which again I won't show you because it's a bit fiddly, but essentially you just have to use some pliers and try your best. And the same thing with the this thing, whatever this thing is called. Use one of these, cable tie, and stretch it to click it back into place. But it's basically, as Haynes' manual says, refitting is reversal of removal.
So what has happened?
This cable, the end nubbin that goes in the car, has got a little bit of the thread still sticking out of it, so it won't go into the thing that receives it properly. Might need to get a little bit of filing and whatever it's called, sandpaper or a file, and file it down a little bit, which is a bit of a pain.
Quick use of the flat file, and it's now gone on.
Okay, there we go. That's both of them in, loosely tightened. So let's just go finish off reassembling that drum, and then we need to then tension the handbrake at the drum using, there's a little rollery thing, we'll have a look at that in a second, and then when those are tensioned to both drums, we then tighten this up so that it does like 5 ratchets or something like that.
I'm in charge of the technical bit, pulling the handbrake up. Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, okay, so we need, that's okay, so we need more. We need to tighten it more.
Okay, so we need to, yeah, so we're doing this adjuster here.
Yes, so what I've done, and I'll show you in a second exactly, but inside the drum there's these little tubular things, and they've got a little nubbin, I don't know, a little wheel, and you move that wheel with a screwdriver to widen the shoes, and you do it apparently on both sides until the shoes just kind of drag on the drum as the drum goes round. So I've done that on both sides, so that's kind of the adjustment done at the drums, and then you adjust the internal adjuster to just tighten both handbrakes equally so that there's enough pressure so that the handle will work. So that's what we need to do now, is just tighten that up a little bit more and see if the handbrake actuates.
So there you go. So we have pumped the brakes and they're gripping. But what we found is that this is supposed to have 5 clicks. At the minute, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we need to tighten a lot more up down there. Okay, so we've tightened that up. So the handbrake now goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's it on tight.
And that's the handbrake on, and that is very firmly working, which it never was before. So hooray, that is, we have fixed the problem. And the other side as well. Follow me, follow me. Also working, hooray. So, and when we release the handbrake, handbrake released, drum turns. And this side, drum also turns, so that's good. Let me just show you what that little adjuster bar looks like inside the drum. So this here is the adjuster bar I was talking about, and you can see that there's a little wheel, and you just get your screwdriver in there and you kind of flick it up or downwards, depending on whether you want to tighten it or loosen it, and it just basically goes like a screw. So we wanted to widen it a little bit, so I had to turn it downwards, I think, which kind of unscrewed it a little bit, which I'm not doing it now because I've set it up properly, until when you put the drum back on, it just drags a little bit these shoes on the drum, which is kind of what a rear brake assembly should be like.
That little like turning thing, the metal on that is very soft. So if you can't actually do it by hand, it's probably a good idea. But obviously with some of these cars and how old they are and the salt in the UK, it's probably quite rusted. So wheel goes back on. Do your nuts up diagonally?
Always.
Okay, so center console is in. It just sort of clips in. There's a weird piece of plastic. You can just see it under the handbrake there. That does need sort of maybe an extra set of hands to clip in, you would say.
It's very annoying and needs a lot of fiddling about with it. But anyway, it's there. It sort of floats somehow.
Yeah, it all sort of floats. There's a massive crack, but that's probably quite normal for a Fiat.
I think it probably is. Anyway, last bit is just to tighten this. This is the little 10mm bolt that holds the center console bit in place. Done. And then we put the cup holdery what's it thing in. There we go. That is all finished. Just need to tighten the wheel nuts and we are done. We can have an MOT tomorrow. Yay!
MOT testing time. Let's see how it gets on. By the way, have you seen what's parked beside the 500? A V5 Golf with private plates. That's in lovely condition and it's pretty rare. Also, absolutely freaking gorgeous interior there. Love that. Nothing like a Werther's original interior, is there? Okay, we're going to call back in 48 hours to see if we will have a working car and a working MOT.
Well, it's working, but yes, an MOT would be lovely, wouldn't it?
Well, it's 3, 4, 5 days later.
Something like that.
It took a lot longer to get sorted than what we thought, but we have a pass.
We do. We had a fail initially on a very tiny thing, which was a track rod end rubber thing,
which we didn't notice.
Which we didn't notice. I mean, why would we? We can't inspect every single component on a car, which is why you have an MOT ultimately. So we got the garage to sort it because we were lazy. So they've just done that. We're here at the garage to pick up the car.
Which now means I can go to Italy tomorrow in it, which will probably be the subject of our next video.
I think it certainly will be, yes. The most important thing we forgot to say is that, of course, the car passed the MOT with absolutely no failures or advisories on the brakes or handbrake. So my job worked.
Do you have to?
Yes.
Very dirty.
Show them the back of the car. Come on.
All right.
It exists.
It does exist. Anyway, can we say goodbye now?
We can say... stop blocking the car. Lovely car. Lovely 500. Bye-bye, everybody.